in the grim darkness of the far future. Every soul's survival hangs by a thread.
Oof, I figured I'd enter this video with 21 seconds of testicle dripping goodness. Boom, we just got ourselves the announced trailer for Total War Warhammer 40,000. And with it, we got a reveal of the 4 starting factions, a little bit of a small taste of gameplay. And that's what we're going to be taking a look at here today is this trailer. We'll be kind of stopping it, going through it, just looking through it. If you want to see just the trailer uninterrupted without me rambling over it, I'm just going to go ahead and put a link in the description below. That's what you want to see. Go ahead and just jump to that link. And in my typical fashion of upfronting the knowledge of my videos, all we really know is what we saw in this trailer. There is a Steam web page that we're going to go over as well, and that tells us our 4 starting factions. The 4 starting factions are Space Marines, Orks, Aeldari, and Astra Militarum, or Eldar and Imperial Guard if you are a veteran of the Long War, such as myself. So in this video, again, in this video, we're just going to go through this announced trailer, talk about it. It's actually a pretty decently sized announced trailer. With a lot of content to kind of jump into and have an exploration at. Also, there is a full reveal of an army painter. So we know an army painter is coming to this. It's going to take place on both planetary and interplanetary stuff. So it looks like we'll be seeing our galactic stuff. So it looks like we'll be able to see some ship-to-ship combat in whatever scope, however that happens. But that's too long to watch this entire video. If that's all you wanted to know, please go ahead and feel free to shut the video down. I want to be respectful of your time. You can find, again, that link for the trailer below if you just want to watch that instead. You can jump ahead to any part of this video that interests you the most using the chapters about the timeline and the description. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe if any of these, if the video helps, if you like the video, shit. Oh man. Well, let's get started here on the Total War Warhammer 40,000 announcement. Oh, I'm just gonna go and press play. We're gonna sift through this stuff. I'm gonna bring this down. So there's a lot. This is looking real sexy. In fact, is this it? Is this? Come on. Don't I pay for this? Yeah, that's right. God damn it. And I mean, I'm not going to pull any assumptions off of what we're taking a look at. It's just such a good trailer. Say what you want about Creative Assembly and how things have gone across any game that you maybe do or don't like. They do some great trailers every time. So we get ourselves a Land Raider, shooting some sponsons, some Lehman Russ action. And I think it's just for the trailer here, right? But we get both. This is a tandem shot of both Space Marines and Imperial Guard, right? These are Lehman Russ Demolishers, Vindicators, shooting through. This is definitely some Imperial Guard into a bunch of Orks, which I'll be honest, I'm glad it's not like, I just love Space Marines and Orks. It's just such a fun combo. Never like to see Ultramarines, but you're always going to lead with your poster boy. It's always going to be the faction that you're going to see at the forefront of any one of these games, unfortunately. But with the Army Painter, we won't have to worry about that. It is cool that we're taking a look at some fun action from a orbital bombardment. And not to mention too, we see that in the actual gameplay. So right now we're just looking at a cinematic. We're getting just a breakdown of that, and we see plenty of fun stuff to take a look at through this.
Conquer worlds. Fight on as the galaxy burns.
Didn't see any Aeldari though. It would have been cool to see them as like Rangers or Scouts just kind of watching.
Amongst the stars, there is only war.
So it looks like too, this is going to be in the current timeline. This is the Cicatrix Maledictum that just cuts pretty much the galaxy in half between the Imperium Nihilus and the Imperium Not So Nihilus. So it looks like this is the isn't it Primus? I can't remember right now. I'm hopped up on antihistamines. It's the end of the night. I didn't expect to be recording a video, so I apologize. But this looks like, again, it's will be current era. So if they want to play with it, we could possibly see Primarchs for the Space Marines coming into this, or any kind of really big fun action. And we already kind of know Total War's pedigree, right? These factions expect them to come in bare bones, expect them to come with like I guess we'll wait till we talk about the gameplay, which is coming up here, but I expect them to come with very minimal squads, very minimal unit diversity. And then as the years of DLC come out, I'm sure that these rosters will fill out substantially. But it'll be very interesting to see how that kind of plays its hand, right? Like, will this just simply be a legacy of DLCs? Will we get multiples of this? I don't know. Like Total War Warhammer 1, 2, and 3, right? Indie Pride in his video asked that same question, like, would this be a trilogy? So here we have actual gameplay, which looks great. Obviously, brand new war. It looks like it's a new engine, not just a warscape. So for those that don't know, Total War makes an engine, and then they make variations of those engines. Those variations of that same engine are called warscapes. Total War Warhammer 1, 2, and 3 are all the same engine as Total War Rome 2. Conversely, Total War 3 Kingdoms is the same engine as Total War Attila, just a different warscape. Same thing with Total War Saga Troy. That's all on the same warscape. It's a different warscape of Rome of Warhammer. So I expect this to not be too optimized to begin with, to be totally honest. So there's that juicy gameplay, and we'll jump back here and take a look at this a little bit further. And there's that our little tease of the army painter, and there's that orbital bombardment I was talking about. And there's our look at some galactic gameplay. I didn't see when I first saw this video the exterminatus that happens right here. Whoa! Oh. Juicy. Now, I think what we just saw is like an overlay on top of the game, and that's showing it different instances. I don't assume you can do multiple things that are happening at once in the middle of a turn, right? Not like that you'd probably do that as an act. They probably just grab the UI and put it over this to show multiple things going on at once. And we get a sense of a progression for settlements, owned territory that we would otherwise have in another Total War title, right? So we have that set progression. And what's interesting too is it's a locked route, kind of like when you're taking a look at like a Sins of the Solar Empire or a Stellaris. The distance from points to points is a set route from point to point, which would also kind of make sense in the Warhammer universe, right? You don't just simply you move through Mandible points. You jump from system to system through set points in the system, which are set points far enough away they won't like cause collateral damage. So let's take a look over here. So we can see that there's some drop pod action here, right? So the question here is, how live action is all of this? If I'm on the campaign map and I'm sitting here and I'm playing and I'm orchestrating on the campaign map, can I then just zoom down into this hive city that's under siege right now to jump into a quick fight? Is this an option to fight? How does that work? And we jump into this actual combat too. Very bare bones, attack, defend, move. Nothing here is really giving me any amazing context clues. I mean, we see a dreadnought. We see a executioner. We see a terminator. We see a chaplain. Either that's an elite unit, because that's the elite symbol, or it's something else entirely. Then we see some tacticals. Well, not tactical squads. We see some assault squads. And the drop down. And again, this is all like, if you watch the animations, they're not very crisp. This is all super alpha. I'm assuming. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Watch how they come out of here. Where are we going? So definitely need to be expected. And then we get a little bit of a taste there of just the different chapter variations. And I'm wondering, with that army painter, do we get to select different accoutrements for our individual leaders? Dreadnoughts obviously have different armaments, right? Like if we take a look at this, we'll pop through this again. Yep, and we got plasma on there, and we went back and forth from cannon to plasma, to plasma, and a lot of really great options here. A lot of really cool showcasings of definitely successor chapters and other chapters that are on the big old chapter banner, but not like Dark Angels or Blood Angels. So I like to see that a little bit more variety here. I like that they're jumping away from that to show us, hey, look how you can paint these, right? Like this guy looks entirely different than this one. So I wonder if in that army painter, you'll be able to do variants of schemes, Or you would just say, hey, yeah, I just want this one scheme. They're all like this. Or I can decide, hey, I want these 3 variants, and the game will automatically choose those 3 variants in different things whenever you spawn a new unit. And again, this guy had a different helmet. Oh, no, I had the same helmet. I'm just lying. I thought he had a different helmet at the beginning. Oh, dude, look at that. That is so sick. I want to jump back just a little bit there. Okay. Minotaurs, Brazen Minotaurs. I can't remember the name of these guys. But a lot of really cool options there. So it's looking sick. It's looking great, but I do have a problem. So let's have that be its own section. So my problem with this shot right here, if I were to pull up Dawn of War 4 on another video, on another picture, let's see if I can get a good one. That's like kind of a, it's just a similar kind of overall look and feel, even down to the UI. So that's something that kind of not necessarily worries me, but I want the games to feel distinct and different is what I'm getting at here. And when I'm looking at this picture, I don't see a game that's overly different looking than Dawn of War 4 in its current iteration and what I've personally played. I've already played press builds of it and I've had my hands on it, so I know what Dawn of War is like, right? Like, that is a terrible resolution picture. I'll go to Google Images so you can find the worst fucking picture in the world. There we go. So that's Dawn of War 4. Color palette wise, it's not that different. It's very similar even. Here, this is another super small picture. Great, cool. What an unprepared, amazing video I've created for myself. Who would think that I have been doing this for maybe 10 years now, and I still can't put together a cohesive video without rambling through it. But either way, I think that it's of course in its earliest stages, so it's maybe unfair to judge that, but this doesn't feel like, I mean, if I invert this, it's not that different. If I take this and stack it right here, it's not that different. And the color palette is, Dawn of War 4 is kind of not necessarily comical, but this is the palette and the way that I expect Dawn of War 4 to look. So I'm fine with this. Total War Warhammer is a fantasy game, so I expect it to have the color palette that it had. But, you know, this game is not. This is Total War Warhammer 40,000. I kind of wish this were a little bit grittier. I like tone down the, like, it's very, very like bright and colorful and beautiful in that regard, but it kind of feels to me almost oversaturated. And if I take a look at like some of this early animation, we drop down over here, even the way that this fighting looks very Dawn of War. And to be totally honest with you, how different can you make two games that are pulling off of the exact same IP in the same scope of grand battles, you know? So we have to give that its allowances. But I kind of wish that CA had gone with this a bit of a grittier tone, a little bit of a darker tone, because I feel like with the scope of a Total War game, you can really capture the scope of how, like, you know, grim dark Warhammer 40k can truly be, which I think is a term that's oftentimes overused when describing a lot of things when it comes to people's fandoms. But 40k, the term grim dark comes from 40k. So I kind of wish this had a little bit more grit to it, a little bit more grime. We don't see any kind of bloodshed or anything like that, but I'm sure that will come. A lot of dismemberment, that's usually part of like a DLC treatment for them, but I don't think that'll be a DLC this time around. It'll probably be included in the base game, but I think that would help add to this because everything looks so clean right now. If everything's covered in grit and grime, I think it would truly help that kind of image of selling that grim dark. So that's my big issue with it now. It doesn't look distinct enough from 40k. Keep in mind, all we're seeing is a battle, which is what, I'm sorry, it doesn't look distinct enough from Dawn of War 4. All we're seeing is a battle, which is what Dawn of War 4 is, but I'd like to see more of the campaign to get a real sense for how this game is going to be different. And lastly, here we have the Steam page, just to quickly show this off. Pretty much everything you've seen already that we've already talked about, but it just shows Space Marines, Orks, Aeldari, which we've seen none of, the Astra Militarum, and those are our 4 starting factions. Now, of course, expect more factions, expect Chaos, expect Tau, expect Necrons, Tyranids, all that to come in various DLCs that you know that they'll be adding. Also with that, expect expansions upon the existing rosters of these 4. Expect new units, all sorts of stuff like that. And I would really like to see probably chapter. I don't know if I really want to see it, but I'm sure chapter DLCs. I don't know if I want to see DLC like that. You know what I mean? I want to pay for it. But I'm sure chapter DLCs will be a thing and everything of the sort, because Total War did everything to milk it out of Warhammer 1, 2, and 3. They're going to milk the shit out of this as well. And that's a direct Indie Pride Milk and Cookies Total War quote right there. They're going to milk the shit out of this. But it says right here, personalize your army, modify your warriors. So we'll probably get a lot of those mechanics of being able to cater different weapons onto squads, onto our dreadnoughts, and what have you. So plenty of stuff to do with that. And then, of course, the galactic scale. We'll have to see how that plays out and how the combat kind of works in conjunction with that. Will there be Battlefleet Gothic level galactic conflicts, or is it just going to be auto-resolved? Is that not even going to be part of it? Will that be a later thing? Who knows? But this is Total War Warhammer 40,000. Are you excited? Is this too much like Dawn of War 4? Is this too much like Dawn of War 4 for you? Or are you more excited for Medieval 3? What are you thinking? Are you just wanting more Total War Warhammer? Let it be known in the comment section below. Is Dawn of War the thing that's exciting you the most right now? Or is it Total War Warhammer 40,000? Which strategy game wins for you? But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one and take care.